it was in LA, and I got the girls together to boycott. I mean, all the street girls, like in our room in a hotel. Guys were getting 50 grand for first now, and we were getting like 1,500 every year.
So wild.
And I'm like, how am I I'm spending that much coming up here.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome. Very special edition, Hawk versus Wolf.
Yeah.
We're not going to do our crazy intro making fun of each
I'm
other.
doing a great job. I just don't say
You're
it.
very stoic. What's up with that?
Because I get triggered every time you go, hey, I want to go, hey, it's Hot Hawk. Tony Hawk here, 540.
Damn it.
Like,
540. Oh, now you're adding to it. 540 Madonna, Sailfish.
Yeah,
What's up,
just
dudes?
like the words that I think that you say.
Hey. Oh, mate. Tweak slob, mate.
That's what I usually show up and talk
Enough
about
us.
Yeah.
We want to welcome the legendary Cara-Beth Burnside to our show. Thank you for showing up.
Yeah.
CB.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. You are a pioneer skateboarder and snowboarder, among other things. And you and I used to skate together.
Yeah.
Very young in the amateur events.
Yeah.
And
Aspo days,
formative years, yeah.
The
ranch,
at some point, Del Mar Ranch,
Del Mar,
days.
yeah, and Colton. I mean, all of them. But I mean, you really were at one point the only girl in those events.
Yeah,
I can't imagine that must have been.
I was just
so
doing
hard.
it. I don't know. You know, it would maybe be hard sometimes, but I didn't really care because that's just, have to get past that. And I think a lot of girls would have a hard time with that. But it was just in a time where like girls didn't skate, but I skated. So what? And there was a lot of guys that were cool about it. And then there were some guys that were just super lame. I mean, I can't even remember.
But I just think about how young we were. I mean, really like 12 years old.
Well, yeah, but I had,
right?
I think because the fact that my parents were so supportive that, I was there with them, or mostly my dad hanging out. And I remember my dad hanging out with your dad all the time. And they were just, talking about stuff. And I always have that memory.
Before we started, you brought up a good point, though. There was a pretty decent population of female skaters before that. Like...
Right, Patty Hoffman and
freestylers.
There's freestyle, but I wasn't really into that event. But it was the pools I wanted to skate, and then seeing girls skate pools. When I saw them for the first time, when I said that Big O skate park opened, and I was like, "What? There's girls skating the pool and grinding." So I kind of know how important it is for other girls to need to see those girls, like, and they could relate. Well, that girl's doing it, so I could do it and even more. So that was just imprinted in me since then. And then doing the contest was super fun. And then all of a sudden, nada. And then
no girls.
No
well,
girls.
I mean, we talked about that. Lance was here last week and how... It wasn't even, I mean, obviously, there were no girls, but the whole thing fell off. Remember, ASPO had all the age divisions and 1A, 2A, 3A, and it was like there was one person in each division.
Okay.
And it got weird. And so it must have got extra weird for you and extra challenging.
Yeah, I don't even know where they put me at. It was just, I don't know how many years, maybe a couple years that went on.
You were grouped in with everyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But is that how it was? It was like they took away all the 2A and 1A.
I feel like that's how it all went, because this is like, why would they have all these divisions when
there's only
if
one?
you compete against yourself, it's not much of a contest.
Right.
Yeah. I do remember there were a couple events where someone would take a run and then they won their division.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
There's that in motorsports too, when it's like not that big of a meet, and there's categories where there's a guy on the podium and there's no guy next to him on the podium. And I'm like, you feel good about that victory, really? Because it seems like all you did was just finish the race.
Yeah.
But if there's nobody else, like, and you want to compete, you're still going to compete.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy that I've known you because I haven't been around as long as Tony, but when we skated in the 90s, because I came to America and you were just skating in contests, like there was no category. And I think that at one point there might have been a new wave to you, would have been a new wave of women because there were a few vert girls. I remember they weren't as good as you, but there were some girls on the ramp with us. And then the 90s got tough and they disappeared and you still stayed to know that you've done this before. You were already there with a bunch of women and then skateboarding like it does, drops out and they just leave and you're still there.
Yeah, I think what happens is maybe they're around and then they want to do a few contests, but it's not really going anywhere for them.
Right.
You know, like for the guys, you have a path. Okay, now I'm going to turn pro. Now I'm going to get paid and I'm going to travel and all that. And I was like, yeah, none of that's happening for me. You know.
But it did though.
Like
not really. But what was holding you there in terms of why you kept? I mean, I know you love skating.
Yeah.
But to overcome those challenges where you're just getting pushed aside.
Because I love skating. I have no idea. I just skated. I was like, I'm still skating. I love skating. So move over. Like, you know what?
Right.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
I mean, it was hard. Like it was like hard to deal with some of the dudes or skating. Because back then we'd show up at a ramp and it was everybody. It wasn't like there's sessions all over the place like today.
Yeah, because
Right?
there were no ramps.
Yeah,
Right.
so the sessions now's on this ramp for the next like 3 weeks or so.
Yeah.
So sometimes I would barely get a run. It was like no one was giving me, you know, unless someone would definitely go stick their board out and be like, okay, go right when I stick my
What?
board out. Yeah. Like, and people, like guys didn't want me to get runs in. Like,
I don't remember.
It was pretty ruthless.
I mean,
It- I
because
mean, it-
I don't talk about it. I don't like to talk about the, oh, poor me, poor girl syndrome. I just,
No, but it's
but
important to shine a light on it and to know that you were the only one at the time that had to deal with that. And I think that shows your fortitude, but also that people don't understand how challenging it was.
yeah, I mean,
was
it
there,
was.
and I did not catch that because I was too wrapped up in my own head to see. I was like, Cara-Beth gets rides just like I do.
Yeah,
I didn't
mean,
know that. Like, if that
sometimes
was
I had
happening,
to learn how to snake and get in there. So that's what I have to do, just like anybody else.
Right.
That's how I told myself. You just, you know, or whoever I was hanging out with and my friends, and I had to have that support system come with me, whoever, you know, and there was always girls here and there that I skated with. Like when I moved up north, there was some girls in NorCal that I skated with the San Jose ramp.
yeah.
And that was really cool. No, well, anyway, it was cool because on the weekends I would go to one of their houses and we'd hang out and then go skate the San Jose warehouse during the weekends. Like Ross Goodman was skating and Wade Spire.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
Wade,
yeah.
I
Wade was
remember, was
amazing.
always cool to me. And he's the one who taught me, because there was a mini ramp with a spine.
Yep.
And he taught me how to go over the spine. And I always like thought that was so cool. And
That you had the best teacher.
yeah, and
Yeah.
he
To
was
Teach you how to go over a
always
spine.
so
Like,
nice.
there is still footage of him skating that Powell mini ramp
he rips.
that is untouchable
Right.
over the spine. Yeah. It's really cool. Sorry. I digress.
No, it was cool. It's just like he was such a nice guy, and you know, definitely one that I remember. San Jose was always a trip too, because you never knew he was skating. It was like, oh man, this session is gnarly.
Yeah.
You know? I'm like,
There was some attitudes in it.
I was
Oh, yeah.
like,
But there was also a lot of toughness at that ramp. A lot of people came. They
Yeah.
already looked angry before they started skating. And I'm like, whoa, you know, like,
Yeah.
What's up
It was
with this
like
guy?
it's skating with blinders.
yeah.
They're not acknowledging anyone else on the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. That vibe is hard. It's hard to
Yes.
break through for sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember
it
seeing
would be
you
scary.
at a couple of those Munster contests too.
Yep.
Right.
Did they have a division?
You know,
think
I
so.
don't even remember.
I
I
don't
don't
think they
know.
did. I
Honestly.
think
maybe they did.
Really?
There was another girl I skated with back then. She was from Europe. I don't remember.
I love how it's just like one.
I was just like,
that was there for a year or two and then disappeared, just like the rest of them. It's
what
just the girls that are like in your like to be good enough to be on there and that level, and then be like, meh.
Well, I think that a lot of them there's like you get to a certain level and there's nowhere to go. Like they're not you're not getting paid. You're not really gonna get any travel money. And I think that's what happened with a lot of the girls, and then I know a lot of good street girls too, that they were doing it and getting traveling and videos, but they weren't really getting paid. And I think they're like, well, someone like Jamie Ray's back in that day, like she was, not making enough money. So it's like, I got to go make money because I don't want to sleep on somebody's couch anymore.
Yep. Yeah. It's fun for a little bit, but then,
but then you got to start making money. Yeah. And then, I wasn't doing any. I mean, I went to snowboarding because I saw that a way to get in there.
What was there? Did you have any sort of breakthrough moments in skating where you thought, okay, there's a chance I can make something more of this?
Of skateboarding? Yeah. It was, I remember filming for a couple videos. Maybe one of them was a Santa Cruz video. I filmed for a couple of those. And the 8th Street video, I don't remember one or two of them. And I just remember filming and skating so many hours and like super stoked. Like I was doing like stuff that I was stoked on, not like guys, it was, I thought as good as the guys, I like to do stuff like, everything on the coping, legit. Like, I don't want any of this good for a girl stuff.
Right.
You're just good for a skater. No, that's good. So, and then those videos came out, and I don't remember what the main one was. It was like, oh, I blink and I miss myself, kind of feeling. Thinking that was like going to be so good to come out. And I waited and waited, and then I saw the video, and it was like 3 seconds or something.
You mean because they didn't use all the footage?
Yeah, I think, they gave more of the footage. It's always like, well, we can't give you too much because like the dudes, man, like, like if I give you this or that, the guys are going to be pissed. And it was always about the dudes and they were going to be mad and on and on. And it was always the same thing all the time.
What a bunch of bullshit.
Damn.
Such
fragile egos.
It really,
it's like, seriously, like you're gonna, we're like always with Christian Hosoi. He's been, dude, here comes the girls, man. Like when I was skating, when Jen and Jody came up and I was rolling with them now, and he'd always give us like props and say super positive stuff and be like, I do like I remember one time I did like a feeble to grind a fakie, and he was like, damn, dude, I can't even do that. And he's like,
You might have the best Christian impression that we've ever had on the show. And we've had a few.
Yeah. But he's awesome.
He's the best.
Like, and he's just giving a good, like example to his guy peers to be like, hey, it's okay to be like good with the girls. Like, I can respect guys a lot more if they can be like, hey, what's up? Or like have a session with. It's the worst when they can't look at you. They can't talk to you. What? It's been, I
always talk to you.
No, right? Not you.
I'm like, fuck. No, because I was definitely one of the assholes on the ramp, I thought. But I never thought girls were. I was like, yeah, cool.
You were always cool. Right. And you always had your whatever. And
I never saw it as a different thing. I was like, you're just skating without, you're a skater.
Yeah. And that's how I just want what I wanted. But it was just, sometimes I had to deal with the random dudes or so. And I'm skating and I get done and I have a good run and it's like silence.
What?
I'm like stoked and it's like silence.
Ellis May for Hawk versus Wolf talking about fit bod. If you want to get in shape, if you're already in shape, for my age, I'm in shape. But I recently got stem cells, and I'm gonna have this one more fight in April, and I really hate running. I don't want to run. I'm also not like, Tony, where I know he doesn't do it, but paying for a personal running I don't have it. But if I just use a Fitbod, I'm gonna use it for this training camp, where it just reminds me, no matter what, no matter how I feel, I got to get up and I got to do the thing that I said I was gonna do. So I would check this thing out if you're looking to tone up, get fitter, or just have your own personal trainer stuck on your watch, because they can do it like that. Crush your summer fitness goals with the personalized workouts from Fitbod that improve as you do. 25% off your subscription if you try the app for free when you sign up now at fitbod.me/wolf. That's 25% off your first subscription, or try it free at fitbod.me/wolf. Oh, mate, Hawk versus Wolf talking about BetterHelp. Therapy. It's still a thing that some people find hard to want to get involved in, but as a person that has felt the same way and definitely dodged it for most of my life, once I decided to get involved in that, things turned around dramatically. I recommend it to all my friends. If anybody is, finding it hard or struggling, sometimes you don't even know, so it wouldn't hurt just to call. And BetterHelp is an online service where you can call, get a meeting within 48 hours, and then you're talking to a therapist and helping you with your problems, things you might not even know you had. So BetterHelp's customized online therapy, offers video, chat, or you can even FaceTime the therapist, so you can see them. If you don't like them, you can get another one within 48 hours. It's very convenient. For our listeners, we get 10% on their first month at betterhelp.com/hawkwolf. That's betterhelp.com/hawkwolf. Thanks, BetterHelp.
But I like,
that's rough.
I don't like skating like that,
No,
but
fair enough.
I don't think anyone does, but
I just realized when you said, oh, I'm just used to it, seeing girls on the ramp, and I feel the same way, but it's because of Cara-Beth.
Right.
It's because when I was young, Cara-Beth was there. And so for me, seeing girls on the ramp was totally normal.
Well, I didn't. I never saw a girl skateboarder in Australia. When I came to America, this was in the 90s, and there was Cara-Beth, and there was Laurie Rigsby, who was in a PAL video.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
Laurie.
I knew her from the video, and I remember being on the deck with her, and I was like, holy shit, that's Laurie Rigsby. It's a girl or it's a guy. It's the girl from the video. Holy shit, I'm standing next to her. My friend that night, because it was qualifying, the next day was a contest, and we were drunk, and he wrote on my grip tape when I wasn't watching, I love Laurie Rigsby. Laurie Rigsby for me, giant on my whole grip tape. And then
my God.
I'm in a heat with her, and I'm standing on the deck with my foot on the tail, and I look at her, and I'm like, and she's looking at the top of my deck, and I'm like, fuck. I didn't mean to. I really did think she was cute too. So I wasn't I'm not doing this. I don't even have time to explain. And I'm just I'm a piece of shit. That's all. But I remember.
What did she say?
She didn't say anything. She just looked at it and went, okay. You know what I mean? And I was like, I'm sorry. And I think my friend was like, she read it. And I'm like, you fucking. I felt bad. But I thought she was awesome.
Yeah. Or you might be able to, you were taking it as awesome, and she might have taken it as something,
Oh, for sure. Considering that she was on high alert for that stuff.
Yeah, I knew I was offensive.
Yeah, it could be triggering, just oh, great. Another one making fun of me.
Yep.
I mean, I have one of those because I always thought someone was making fun of me. And it was John Lucero and Jeff Grosso. And, I'd always skate with them. Especially at Kelly's. And before that, remember when Vans still had that facility in Orange? And they had that small vert ramp with the Taco Bell hump?
Yeah. That thing was a nightmare.
Doesn't it have an oververt section too?
Yeah, in the corner. They had a tighter section.
Yeah, I just saw footage from that contest. That thing was small.
Yeah.
It was small.
Yeah.
So I was the key holder to that.
Nice.
So everybody would call me or oh, it rained earlier, but are you going to open the ramp? But anyway, I think it started like around that time with John and Jeff, and I would be skating and they'd be like, oh, Cara-Beth. And they call me Cara-Beth. And I was like, I don't know, this went on. And I finally went up to them and I'm like, dude, like, what is your problem? Like, why are you guys, because I thought I was real sketchy. I thought like they were just like thinking I was like super
they thought you were close to death every time you skated.
Just
and that's why
sketchy and like.
Not that you didn't, that they were calling you that because you skated like you didn't give a shit. That's why they were calling you that, right? Or
I didn't know why, but it bugged me because I was like, I thought it meant like not what they meant. So one day I went up and asked them and they're like, no, like we've been calling you that for a long time because one time at a skate event, like, I don't know, at Lakewood, and you were walking around with Dwayne and then you skated. We were like, oh my God, she's not Cara-Beth, she's Cara-Beth.
Right.
You know, so it was a good thing, you know? So every time since then until ever, they, you know, I'll go up to Lucero and he'll be like, Cara-Beth.
Yeah.
And no one really knows.
I would imagine that if I had heard that, I'd be like, oh, that's a total compliment because.
That's what I would have thought too.
But also because your style was never sketchy. So you were always very solid as far as I was concerned. So
and fearless.
Yeah.
Like you did stuff where if it wasn't wrong, you still tried to make it just like we did.
Right.
And it's a cool name. It's a catchy name. I wish I was Jason Death. Like, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
It just doesn't rhyme as
I don't
good.
know. It was funny. I don't know why. I just wanted to find out what it meant. And it was a good thing. So I was like, oh.
How do you feel about, because I took a big break from skateboarding and then I came back in and Tony asked me to announce a demo in Utah. And I'd been here a couple of times and I'd noticed that there were way more females in vert skateboarding than when I left.
Yeah. What's the break time are you talking
Probably
about?
like 15 years.
Like you.
Of paying attention to skateboarding.
Wait, when did you take a break?
For the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Oh, for the last 15 years.
You just got back into it.
Yeah. Okay.
So when I left,
yeah.
if you asked me who's the best female skateboarder, I'd say you.
Right.
And then now there's 20 girls that I don't know who they are, and they're all fucking monsters. Like I'm like stalled out eggplants, and I'm like, whoa. And then Sky doing 7-foot cry stairs, and I'm like, what the fuck? So then I remember like trying to get everybody's names because I'm like, these girls do not get up here and be like, I don't know you. Like these people need to know them.
Everyone else knows who they are.
Yeah, and rightfully so. But just they were all so friendly to me. And they didn't know me. Like some of them don't know that I was even here. And they're just like upbeat, positive, and fucking amazing at skateboarding. It really like it was a big thing for me. Like I was like, because I was on the deck.
That's like not seeing it for that long, and all of a sudden,
and
all these girls, and they're really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Like really impressive. Everything too, like all the tricks, not just a couple, just everything. Things I'm like, yeah, maybe girls can't do that. Shut up, Jason. You're an idiot. Because look at that, and look at her, and look at her. And
it's awesome.
It was really impressive. Do you? Because I when I saw that, I thought you did that.
That's how I feel. You planted that seed. You absolutely.
Oh, well, yeah. I've always tried to plant seeds and like tell someone like, hey, can we do this ad or whatever, and try to like, you know, help the other girls. And because it's like if there's just one of me, or you know, it's not going to go very far. There's got to be more, like lots.
They can
more
do their own contest, their own demo. They don't need dudes anymore.
And and they need to have their own contests and all that stuff. And you know, with social media, that came into play. And then we had a boycott with X Games.
Oh yeah.
So that was a big thing. Well, I'm sick and tired of winning $1,000 every time, you know, and I'm doing the X Games since it was just a demo. And they kept promising, oh, the money will get better. The exposure's getting better next year. Nope. Next year, nope. So I got together with Mimi Noop and
big fan.
and she had her mom was friends with a lawyer guy that really knows action sports and just sports in general, especially for women, and said, you guys need to have an organization. And so we did that. We got Action Sports Alliance, and so we run a lot of the events now that are happening. They go to that, and then Mimi can run the girls' events instead of having random guys running the girls that don't know. It's good to have a girl out there. But before that, Drew told us, we need to boycott, and be like, okay. So they didn't. It was in LA, and I got the girls together to boycott. I mean, all the street girls, like in our room in a hotel. And I'm like, you guys can, and me and Mimi are like, you cannot go to practice, nothing. This is going to happen. And so they agreed.
Was the main argument was for equal prize money?
It wasn't for equal prize money.
Just a raise.
But guys were getting 50 grand for first now, and we were getting like 1,500 every year.
So wild.
And I'm like, how am I I'm spending that much coming up here in a week,
Yeah.
Shit. So
I feel bad that I didn't help. I didn't do anything. I didn't even really know.
Well,
to know that was happening.
People you don't know then, and everybody's in their own other stuff
we were
we're
oblivious to that plight, and also we were just also focused on the thing. But absolutely, but that I think in that time especially, you guys made enough noise, and it spilled over, and it was like, hey, there is an issue here. Mm-hmm. There is a problem, and it wasn't really getting fixed necessarily,
right?
But at least you raised awareness.
Yeah, we did a lot. All of a sudden, I'm getting calls from X Games. Can you get these girls over here right now? What are you doing?
Yeah, sure.
I'm like, well, we need to talk.
Yeah.
You didn't want to talk last time, so we need...
That must have felt good, right?
I said, we need to talk to the president of ESPN now. And so they called me back, and it was like, okay, you guys have a meeting, I don't know, later or later tonight, and this is up in LA. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we just want a meeting, make sure that's set. And it was set. And I was like, okay, girls, go skate. And told them all to go. So they went there, and they were having practice because no one was there, and there's all these people, and it's on the schedule, girls street practice, so they just wanted me to hurry up and get the girls back there. So we did. And then we had a meeting with Mimi and I and our,
your lawyer,
Drew, and then the president
probably like Jack Wienert or Ron Simeo.
Spacing.
Those are the guys, right? The X Games dudes.
So what's...
I have stories.
Okay. Okay, well, anyway, he didn't know any of this. And we told him, and he just said, well, what do you guys want? And we just said, how about, we were like, and he said, we said 15,000 for first, and it breaks down 10, 5, and whatever. Because there's at least 5 good girls that are skating, and we've been skating.
Yeah.
And
that they're promoting.
Yeah.
They're like actively on television.
Yeah.
And to bring girls in the media, that was another thing that we asked for. And that, you're not taking any of the prize money away from the guys, that it's coming from you. And there were a couple other things we talked about, but it was done.
They gave it to you.
Yeah. I mean, he understood, and he said, this is a verbal agreement, and it's going to happen. I will bring the prize purse up every year until parity.
And he did.
Okay. Within probably like 3 or 4 years.
Oh, I mean, a roundabout way.
No, who's the president of the ESPN?
Big guy.
Or maybe he was the vice president.
Did you see him physically?
Yeah.
Real big guy.
No.
No? Okay.
God,
there was one guy that used to golf cart around. He seemed like the guy that was in charge.
Jack.
bigger, older.
Yeah, he always had a cigar, like half cigar in his mouth, but it wasn't lit. Yeah. Anyway, we dig. Sorry, we're getting sidetracked here. I think it's so great that I had to do it. You were the catalyst to lead that.
But the next day, oh my God, the next day was a girls' vert event and I had a migraine. Oh my God. I was like so sick, puking, because I've got them my whole life on top of slam. So here I go, and I'm so sick, and everybody's at practice, and because sent everyone away, and I'm there with my mom just puking, and Mimi's dad's a doctor, so he ended up going to get me some Zofran, which is like an anti-nausea medicine.
Yeah, okay.
And I took that.
Unfortunately, I'm very familiar with it.
Yeah. And I started to feel better, and I just hopped into a bathtub there, and I just started feeling better, and girls is going to start soon. And I mean, I just had to put autopilot on like I've done many a times, and I'm still sick, and we got in a taxi and like bolted to the ramp. I had like a one run before, and you're just in this
Had you ridden that ramp at all?
I'd ridden it the day before, and I think a couple times, but I just didn't really have. All the girls were there for an hour for practice, and I barely had a run. Just got out of bed, and I just turned it on, and I was like, "You cannot skate bad. Like you have to win," and because I just got the prize purse change.
Yeah.
And I want that 15,000.
Yeah. Totally fair. Like I see your angle. And you have the ability to take that 15,000.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, turn it on. And yeah.
Got it.
I won. And a big article came out in the LA Times that day about the whole thing. And the Bostics were like tripping on me because they were like, because I've been talking to them for years, and they were like, price change, and they were like, that's awesome. And then after that, like, people were kind of pissed. Like, they couldn't believe what I did, like, was going on. There were some people that I got in arguments.
People were pissed that you got more money for women skateboarding?
Yeah, and that why did you boycott? I mean, these are things actually said. Why don't you guys just skate? I mean, you're at the X Games. I mean, come on, just like be there. And it was like, no way, you don't understand what I'm doing. Like, I have a mission
we eat. And if we don't get paid, we don't eat. Do you understand that?
I need more girls to see what's going on, and we need to be a vision. So there's lots of girls that can skate and be good and, be out there. And I always knew that, but with social media and then doing this and, I
think the craziest thing about it is you're pushing them to take care of female skateboarding, and then female skateboarding turns into a corporate monster where all these companies are now making all the money from you guys. Like, I see the Vans, like, women's division, and how many women, my daughter and all her friends, buy those shoes.
Right.
Like, that's skateboarding that made that acceptable. And then I see ads everywhere. I go to skate shops, and there's people that are, the big poster in the front. It's a girl.
Yeah.
That just wasn't happening.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff people had to see,
Yeah, because...
And it was out there for a little while when I had my own signature shoe with Vans. I had that for a while, and then it kind of, I don't know, I was snowboarding at the time, so it was hard to do a lot of the design. So after so many models of it, it kind of went. And then, I don't know, there were some changes to it, Vans. And so... Yeah.
The timeline, I might have this off because I'm not sure exactly what year that happened with the boycott, but I do remember I was disappointed too, and there was an uproar about that the women's event would happen, but it wouldn't be televised. And did that happen after the prize money got raised still?
I think it was still maybe that it still wasn't going to.
Or maybe it was the Vert event. I don't remember. I just remember it was like, oh, they're going to hold it, but it won't make.
No, it wasn't
airtime.
due to that. they never.
No, not due to it, but I just meant, did that happen after the prize money got raised or before? I guess it doesn't really matter.
I'm not sure, but they did raise the prize money, but they didn't really start showing the girls until like another year or so.
Yeah, that's what it was.
You know, it wasn't like
Do
right
you
away.
remember
on
one of the first doubles events, and Bob wanted to skate with Jen?
Yeah.
Wait, they wouldn't let him?
They wouldn't count their run. It was wild.
Oh my God.
We were all on the ramp. We're like, are you guys serious right now? Like, well, there's no women's division or whatever it was.
So what?
And so,
Oh yeah, Jen talks about that.
yeah,
Fair enough.
Yeah, and so they were married at the time.
Yeah.
And they had a routine.
Yeah.
And it was sick. Like
Yeah.
it was cool.
I bet.
And then finally so the whatever compromise was that, well, they can skate, but their run won't be counted.
What?
See, this stuff
it was crazy.
makes me feel like I thought I was a nice guy. And I just no, I don't remember anybody going, Jason, did you know that they're not doing the thing? Because I think if I was standing on the deck, I'd be like, wait, hey, bustic or what? Hey, fucker, I'm out of here if you don't.
Yeah, but nothing we said was going to matter. Like, unless we all did like what you did and did a full boycott, which we should have.
But that was like
it's not that long ago. That's so crazy to know that they were like, wait, she's got a vagina. We cannot score that. I'm like, what are you, fucking prehistoric? How does that add up at all? She's on the ramp. She's skating with him. Shut up. Score it.
Yeah.
I'm so offended.
Crazy.
Yeah, I wasn't there, but I heard about it, and I hear it from Jen still. when I see her, she'll bring that up
because they would have placed high.
I just remember all this commotion. They weren't really saying what it was, and then when we finally sort of leaned in and listened, it was like, wait, what?
Oh, so they were doing it like they just told those two.
Kind of, yeah, but you could tell that, and Bob and Jen weren't going to lay down quietly.
Good,
and they still that's how they approach life, and so it was like, oh, they're going to make a big deal about this, and they should have.
Yeah, great. You got to be stoked on what is now, though. Like I know that because to me, like I look at sometimes people that are the next era of what I was doing, way more money in it because now it's popular. And now if you're top 3 in the world, you could make $1 million a year. But when I was top 3 in the world, you couldn't. And I'm like, oh man, boy, did I blow that window. But for me, especially now, because I'm older, I just care about skateboarding. How's skateboarding doing? Is it doing better? Mm-hmm. And for females, it's incredibly better. Everybody backs, sponsors, gets paid, and the ability is fucking through the roof. And I could be like, I see a couple people that skate and they do a couple of tricks. I'm like, that they might not even know it, but I was responsible for that, and it makes me feel good. You're responsible for
a movement,
a whole, like everything. Like a huge, like, not to mention, I hate the corporate shout out, but you guys made millions of dollars from her. Millions. And you're going to continue from Cara-Beth.
Well, tell that to the guy that fired me at Vans. He doesn't care.
It's so funny. Being a female skateboarder is like being a vert skater in the 90s.
The crazy thing is I did the Vans Park Series, the commentary when they had the Park Series.
Right.
And that originally was going to be the qualifier for the Olympics, but they ended up not getting that deal, or they couldn't come to an agreement. I don't know what it was. But in that series, they said equal prize money across the board. Like, right at the beginning. And I thought that was really forward thinking and really like, here we are. Yeah. It wasn't even like we're gonna lead our way, like do it in increments the way the X Games did. They're just like, it's even. That's it. Case closed.
Nobody had a problem with that, right?
Yeah.
Oh no. And everyone else followed suit.
Right.
Yeah.
Every other event
and
was like,
everybody follows,
right.
set this example, and then it's.
And I mean, if you look at the Olympics, like the takeaway talents from the Olympics were the girls.
Right.
That's all I hear about. Oh, that little girl from Japan. That's it.
Yeah.
Or it's Sky Brown or Racia. Yeah.
And
Sakura, and it's like that's it.
People love to see it. It's it's like, and especially like younger boys, it's like, if they see a girl doing it, they're going to be like, wow, I might get going on my stuff,
Right.
But I just see it as a positive for everybody.
Yep, of course.
And especially the companies. Like, you can have all this girl stuff, and clothes and everything.
Right.
And market off that. And there's so many different personalities and girls, and there's just someone that, somebody can relate to, and not, so there's not just a couple girls out there. There's so many.
Yep.
So there's one or two that somebody really relates to.
Yep.
Or whatever. And
I want to ask you, I hate when people ask me this because it feels like so much pressure, but who are you fired up to see these days? See, I know, it's impossible.
I don't even know.
But when's the last time you got really hyped when you saw something?
Let's see, my horse the other day.
No, I mean like a
Right, horse.
I mean
Yeah,
a
I
skater.
do. My horse is up on the 76. I was gonna ride him here, but yeah, I'm a horseback rider.
Oh, awesome.
Can you ride a horse here?
Yeah, no, maybe.
I've seen horses go through
Yeah,
this
they go
parking
through your
lot.
parking lot every Sunday.
I
Yeah.
have to ride a saddle now because when you
But
ride
you
bareback,
never rode. You are a bareback rider.
and he's not trained all
sounded
the
weird,
way,
but you know what I
so
mean.
when he gets out of control a little bit, I've gone flying and hit my head, and it's just like, okay, I gotta stop hitting my head. And like,
Yeah.
I ride him bareback, and I just started training him and working with other people.
What's his name?
Cowboy. And he's kind of small, Palomino, got him in Montana. But these horse people, some of them were just hitting them and stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, and like, he really likes to get in your hair and like do that. And I'm like, he's not going to be a show horse and they're hitting him on the, I was like, no. Nobody's going to touch my horse again.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to hit you if you do that again.
Wait, some horse people are mean to horses. Sorry, I don't.
Yeah,
sound like
I
such
mean,
a-
it's just their way of getting them, and they're like, you got to be really aggressive, and I'm just like, I understand to a point, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
you just
like
have
it.
this horse, and
I
and
ride
you-
him, but I was
where do you go?
I go
And
it's
are you by yourself?
no, I go with someone.
It's-
Because he likes it better, and if I get tossed and he runs, like what the
Yeah.
When you go with someone, you're both
I
riding the
usually
same
have
horse?
a couple knives on me, but
For what?
you just don't know when you're out there. I have to kill somebody or something. I'm not gonna be me or you. It's gonna be you.
But when you're riding with someone, you mean with someone on the same horse, or they have another horse?
No,
They have
horse,
another
right? Yeah.
horse.
I caught that.
I was like,
The Santa Margarita River Trail. It runs all the way down.
How often do you do that?
When I'm going out there. Sometimes I don't go out but I'll go out every, once a week or something.
How long have you been a horse rider?
I've
Your
had
whole
him
life,
for
or-
a long time, since he was almost 1.5. Oh,
Is it a childhood thing you grew up with, or?
Yeah, I grew
Oh,
up
okay.
with ponies. I had a pony
Oh,
when I grew
sweet.
up in Orange County.
Yeah.
And fruit stands in the city of Orange groves. I had
Can
my
you do
dirt
horse
bike.
wheelies?
No, I used to like to
What?
like make them do rear up.
I did a horse wheelie once.
we
Because I always
talked
wanted
about
to do a horse wheelie, and then somebody through the radio called somebody that has horses and has a stunt horse, and he goes, "If this guy can get out here, I guarantee you this horse will do a wheelie for him."
Oh my god!
So I got out there, and he's like, "Just give him a little kick in the leg, and off he goes." And I did like 20 horse wheelies.
Whoa!
Did a one-hander at one point.
Wait, what? How is he getting them to do that with a stun thing?
He was no. You did a little kick into the
Oh,
leg.
so he
and
was like a train,
yeah,
a train
yeah.
thing.
If
Yeah,
you did that to him, he knew that you
Oh,
wanted
okay.
a wheelie. Yeah.
yeah.
So
that's
this guy
cool.
just ripped him for like 20 minutes. Just bam, bam. I'm just like, yeah, get a photo, get a
I
photo.
love- I do motorcycle noises for it.
I was totally doing that.
Oh my god!
He was a nice horse.
Well,
I didn't smack him.
That's good.
Yeah. I was like, if you don't want to, he actually quit. He's like, I don't want to do any more wheelies. And I was like, fair enough. We did 20, so we were good.
Yeah. Yeah, if they don't want to do something, sometimes I'm like, okay. But,
Yeah, that's what I said.
you
Fair
know,
enough.
sometimes he doesn't want to do stuff. I'm like, all right. People are like, no, just make him do it anyway. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Like,
You have some.
just like we have this bond. I've had him for, I don't know, like 14 years.
Does anyone else ride him?
Huh? Yeah, I have someone else riding him, but it's a friend of mine, and she helps this one of the girls she helps, and is like 16 or something and can't afford a horse. But she's the same way as me with horses. So she's out there all the time, like brushing in them and stuff. And because I went to Montana for a while, I was out there for like 4 or 5 months, and I wasn't just going to leave him. And I didn't want to bring him until I had a place for him if I was going to do that. That's just too much for the horse. So I just left him there. But I knowing that he's getting what he needs, right. And hanging out with someone, and I know he's not going to get hit, and any weird business is going to happen.
So you were saying not skateboarding that much right now because of some injuries?
I'm getting better. Yeah, I've been actually working.
What are you recovering from?
Also, I get this thing in my neck, and then like my back, my lower back thing, because I have something called spondyle. I can't even pronounce it. Spondylolisthesis something. And
is that from skateboarding, or is
no? I got it. You get it when you're a kid, and it's when a vertebrae moves forward a little bit in your back, so it gives you a little bit of a sway. So if I, sometimes if I'm injured in my leg or something's going on in my stomach, it'll pull me this way, and it really hurts my back.
So you have to get adjusted a lot?
Not adjusted. I'm working with this like cranial energy type girl, and she like, it's like definitely like new age stuff.
But it works.
Oh yeah. I mean, it works for me. And she it's like, and she works with like your meridians and all your energy.
Sorry. Probably shouldn't have asked that. We're going to go down.
It's a nice hotel chain. I know that.
I'll tell you later.
That's the one I know.
Did that affect you when you were younger?
Not so bad. Really what hurts it would be like sweeping and stuff, but like skating, I'd be like, I can't do yard work. Can I go to the skate park? I was really lucky, and the doctor always said that I had a strong enough back to where I can be active, but it affects people differently. And some kids will be really good in sports, and they totally can't do anything anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like, because their back is so bad from it.
All right.
So, yeah.
I do want to ask you about, we were talking about how you transitioned to snowboarding because, not because, but it seemed like there might have been a better chance at making a living doing that.
Yeah. I mean, people would tell me that all the time. You just got to go check it out. And so I did. I tried to learn how to snowboard, and that was really hard. I thought I was just going to, I didn't think about the edges and catching edges. And I was like riding some icy park. Where was it? In Big Bear, or that other one?
Snow Summit. Or no, Mountain High.
Mountain High.
That's where I learned how to snowboard.
Yeah. And so then I saw the girls' contest, and I was like, whoa, I could do that. Like, and they were getting paid good money. I wasn't getting paid anything. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to learn how to do this.
Yeah.
And I thought, I don't know if I'm going to like it, but I got to make some money, but I started learning it, and I liked it. And then somebody told me about Mount Hood. And then I'm like, oh, really? I can go up there and ride this glacier and skate. And so I traded some product to High Cascade, and I got the last 3 weeks in for all this product, because it's kind of real slushy, and it's kind of like when they didn't have, it's not crowded really. So they had room for me.
We went there on the skate park tour, and we rode those boards that had the ski underneath it. Do you remember that?
It's just this glacier, and you're like, oh my God, this place is amazing. Yeah. Like it makes all this stuff. So I was like, oh my God. And then I skated there, and I was like, this is awesome, because I could learn so much, and then I would skate until it was dark at 9. Yeah. So that was like perfect. And I remember meeting Todd Richards and stuff, and it was like, and he was like, oh my God. And he's always like super fun to skate with. And really in the skate in Mount Hood and skating there with like their girls and the guys. They were all so supportive of me skating and were stoked. And I was like, whoa, I've never had this before.
Man.
I was like, it's cool that and then some of the guys, that would take me and want to go skate this other vert ramp. And I was like, okay, like, I think Joey Boisno and a few other people. And I was like, oh, cool. And like, yeah. So I was like, I got to go to Mount Hood every summer. So I got a job as a coach for the next summer with High Cascade as a skate coach. Okay, so I thought I had the job, and my friend drove me up there, and I got there, and he was like, "Oh, we don't need you," or something. It was the High Cascade guy. Like, they didn't really know me, I was just a skater. I was there, and I was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, I'm not leaving." So I like slept on my friend's like, I don't even know, some dirty floor or something. I just remember, okay, so I just hiked every day up like an hour to the park and rode all day and then skated. And then finally, like, I think it was about 3 weeks later, he was like, okay, we're going to give you your pass now and your skate.
That's big of
So
him.
you got in just by sheer will.
I just was like, I'm not leaving, and I'm going to hike this mountain because I have to learn tricks.
Yeah.
I was like, not
That's
leaving.
pretty
How long
amazing.
did it take you to turn into a decent snowboarder? How long was the transition?
A couple years. Like, I was
years.
just like, okay, I'm entering contests. And then the first few contests, I remember I was like, oh man, I'm really sucking. But
then you figured it out.
I figured it out, and it was cool. Like, I started meeting like cool girls, and then I got Burton. I got on Burton pretty quick after that.
Okay.
And then worked my way up, and that was awesome.
Do you ever turn any snowboard girls into skateboard girls? Like, you snowboarding with these girls, and you're like, well, I'm going to the ramp. I'm going skating after this. Did any of them? Did you pull any of them into it?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of them tried to learn and definitely did it.
Seems like a lot of snowboarders skate.
These days.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wasn't
not in those days.
Okay.
There were only a few that really did a crossover.
Okay.
Some of them, but
These days now, I mean, you look at, I just did a thing with K2 snowboard team.
Okay.
And those guys truly skate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They'll get off the mountain and then go do a tray flip.
Do they?
Yeah.
Do you mean they have girls on the team or just
Girls too, yeah. And
Yeah.
they skate a little bit, but I just feel like it's more of an obvious duality now.
Uh-huh.
Whereas back then, there were only a handful of people that were doing both, you included.
There were some other guys up that would skate and snowboard. I would hang out with. I don't know who I'm trying to think of. Well, like Noah Selaznik.
Noah Selaznik, yeah.
And
He's
that
one of the few that.
like there was
Yeah.
a crew, and
Cardiel too, right? Wasn't Cardiel
yeah,
a pro snowboarder?
Cardiel and
Sluggo.
Sluggo, yeah.
yeah, and shoot, there were the guys that, and I always liked that. I liked a lot of like the skate, how they could turn their snowboarding into that skate style. Where
Do you feel like your skate style changed after you committed yourself to snowboarding for so long?
I think it helped.
Yep.
For learning stuff, and I don't know. Like I remember like I couldn't do leaners for the longest time, but I always do them on my snowboard, and I learned them really good. Like behind the foot.
I think that's the first shot I ever saw of you.
Really?
For Burton was doing a lean air.
Oh.
And that's when I realized, like, oh, Cara-Beth's a pro snowboarder now. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice
Yeah.
move.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I got to go that route. And it was, I would skate with Jen and Jody a lot. They were like my posse in the beginning, and they actually were on the road with me a little bit when I first turned pro, and I was doing these pro contests and stuff. But I was getting into trouble because I was with Jen, and they'd show up, and we'd have like the boom box and tequila and Jen's.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, well, it's just it got like
it's
rowdy.
not conducive to really good riding after a while.
Well,
yeah.
well, no, it wasn't that. It was just like you can't really be so crazy. And I mean, it was funny. It was nothing bad about it.
I was gonna say, I remember you guys. I don't remember. Oh shit, here they come.
Well,
I was like
the troublemaker.
Yeah, like I was always like, great, you're here.
Well, snowboarders, it was different there.
I guess so.
Yeah. So, but it was with snowboarding. I mean, competing with all those girls and having a lot of camaraderie. I love that, you know, and we all like supported each other, you know, even if they were going to win or I was going to win, it was always like, you know, everybody, you know, so many of those girls, like, you know, and
did you feel like that was a big missing element to your skating days?
Well, any of it, you know, there was nothing.
Right.
There wasn't, there was, you know, there was just nothing to do. I mean, I could go do it. I'd show up with Jen and Jody to like demos all the guys were doing and getting paid. And we'd show up, and just start skating, but we never got paid. I just wanted to skate, but you're not getting paid. You girls aren't getting paid, you know?
So lame.
Yeah.
And so, like, I mean, I did so many things just to go there because I wanted to be out there visible.
Mm-hmm.
You
crashed our demo in Missoula. We had no idea you were there.
Did you pay
That
them?
was really cool.
I didn't even know you.
I think we did. I want to say we paid you because I think we were airing it. I hope we did.
I don't think so.
Maybe
You
That's
aired
on
it,
me.
huh?
I get it.
Oh,
though.
it wasn't the ESPN
It's-
tour. It
it-
wasn't the ESPN tour. So
It wasn't
it's
even.
more on me since it wasn't the ESPN tour.
Whoops.
Wasn't like I'm not setting it out for that. I was just like, oh yeah, if someone wanted to pay me, but no one ever.
Well, in my
would.
defense, had we known you were there, we would have said it beforehand.
Right.
But you showed up and you're like, "Can I skate?" And I was like,
Yeah.
hell yes."
Yeah, I'd been skating there, and I was like, what? What are someone?
She just happened upon our.
I
It was the
just like,
biggest.
well,
That was the biggest skate park demo I've ever done.
I was like, well, can I skate? I love this park, and I just wanted to be in there skating and stuff, and those hips, and that park is so fun. And
Crazy.
yeah, it was cool. Then you guys had the vert ramp set up.
Yeah.
I was over it after that. I was like, I haven't been skating vert. I was stoked to watch a couple of the guys. Who's the one?
Lincoln.
Not Lincoln. He's a foreigner. John? What's his name? He used to ride for
Petit
you.
Jean. Yeah.
No.
Jean.
Where
Yes.
was that one?
Yeah.
Jean?
Yeah.
What was his? Is
Post-stick.
Yeah.
Jean Post-stick.
Yeah.
Is that?
He was sick. He did like huge backside ollie threes and stuff like that.
And he would
happened to
just.
I see him on Instagram also. He lives in France again, and he still skates.
Yeah, he was a shredder. Still is. But
Yeah,
good judo is, right? Because I think he was like one of the only new guys that did when you do a judo where you pull your board back, and I was like, oh, he knows.
Yeah, he was just always fun to be around. Just I skated with him at the Y and stuff a lot.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah. So back to being hurt. Yeah. So I'm just trying to get back my stuff and just want to skate more and just taking care of all these things so I can really skate. Because I was here at the vert ramp the other day and I was like, oh man, I really want to skate some vert, like I really miss it being here with Lindsay. I used to skate with her so much.
I saw the photo. So I saw the photo of you and Lindsay and Amelia. Who else was
Yeah,
here?
Amelia set it up, and so we met.
Yeah, but it was funny because my wife showed me that and she goes, look what's happening at the ramp. And I'm like, that's got to be an old photo. And then I zoomed in and I saw that's the new surface. And I was like, wait, that's now. They're there. What's going on?
Yeah, you're like, wait, they're not skating.
It's
there
amazing to see. Lindsay will come here and she hasn't skated in months.
Yeah.
Sometimes even a year or so and snaps right back into it.
Yeah, that's what she was
wild.
doing. I was like, yeah, oh my God. And
like not even working up to it, just right back where she was.
Yeah, I was taking some pictures of her, and so I got some. I mean, she was doing like by the end of the session, she was like busting some airs and like doing some really good Andrex.
Yeah.
You saw that footage of her doing the McTwist at our big Paris demo?
Yeah.
The first McTwist, first female McTwist.
Right.
That was amazing.
Because she'd try those a lot, and I think she just needed the right.
She was the highlight of the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely going to hype you up. And
Yep.
I mean, and that again, for me, like the contests and demos are so good for the girls because it gives you like, you get you amped up to like really want to make something you normally wouldn't make in a session. And that's how I feel in contests. Like, or you might skate sketchy, or you might make something like, you're like, whoa, I
push yourself.
Yeah. And when I would see that in the girls skating, I could just see it in their eyes, how much gnarlier they're skating now that there's a contest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that at we had our vert contest in Salt Lake City. The girls were ripping in practice, but when it came time for the finals, they turned it up.
Yeah.
It was so obvious.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just like, we need that synergy of, everything too, to make us
support.
And just to, make that trick, or, I've been trying this or something. And just, so I love when it gets to that point, I mean, I just love being in that skating zone because it's just like, you're just, don't think about anything and you're just doing your thing. And it's just like, it can't relate it to, everybody. You have to, I love being in that state of mind.
Have you thought about stem cells?
I
just
don't
got
know.
back from Colombia. There's a place. Andy McDonald is there right now. But if you are an injured person and you're getting older.
I've done some, have you heard of NAD?
Yeah.
I've done some of that, and that for my migraines and stuff.
That helped?
Yeah, I don't know if I've done enough.
Right.
Like 5 treatments.
I've done it. I don't know how much it did for me either.
But the
stem cells, different story.
But that, like,
my wife is a migraine sufferer, and so I know exactly what you mean and how just always looking for help.
Right.
It's just, the only thing that helps me would be like, I would start taking painkillers and stuff, and that helped, but then you start, and doctors don't tell you about what happens when you're taking painkillers. Maybe more now, but 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they're like, here you go.
Yep.
Oh, here, go to this specialist. Oh, here's some of this. Here, have you tried these? No. Okay.
Slippery slope.
Yeah. And you're not really knowing how crazy it is. And then, so I just say that because everybody's going to be getting injured. And or something, migraines, and, got to be careful on those painkillers because, people don't know. And you got to educate yourself if the doctors aren't. Because
hopefully you educate yourself before you find out the hard way. Like I'd prefer to, because I could tell I broke a lot of stuff for a minute there, and it was just like, you break it, they give you the painkillers. Then it heals, then I go and break it, they give you the painkillers. I'm like, okay, I've been doing Vicodin for like 3 months a year now, or more. And I could tell it was starting to do things to me. Like I was not me. I was angry at little things where I was like, man, you're freaking. I'm like, you know what that is, dude? It's the fucking pills you're taking.
Yeah.
And then trying to
or you're just dead to the world. Just
right. That's the sweet spot.
No. I'm with you. It's hard. It's exactly that. Yes.
Yeah.
If it's not ridiculous pain, I'm not doing it.
It's just, there might be something like, I don't like being really hurt, but you can't get down that road, and if you have to take them, you just have to be sure to get right off of them.
Yep.
Have someone monitor.
As an addict, I'll do it when it really hurts. And then if the next day I'm like, it hurts, but it's not enough for me to stop doing my stuff, then I'll be like, don't do it. That's it. You're done.
You don't want to do more than like, too many days in a row and then you get hooked back on something you're not stoked on. And it just is not a good situation.
So snowboarding now?
No.
Or too hurt for that?
What?
Are you snowboarding right now or not?
No. I'm healing up my body.
Right.
I was in Montana for a while. I've been trying to my partner with this guy, but now I might not. He lives outside of Missoula now, and I've been living out there, and he's doing these yurts, like where there's this glamping.
What's a yurt?
A yurt is like
it's kind of like a tent.
A dome.
It's like a permanent tent.
And it's like solid, like it's this permanent tent. They're really cool. They're for people who want to go camping but don't want to be in the tent. They're like, they call this stuff glamping.
Oh, okay.
And people go there, and there's not a lot of places in Montana that are, there's no campgrounds hardly. So anyway, yeah, I'm just feeling it out because I love Montana, and I was living out there in an ecodome that's just similar that overlook this wild animal refuge.
Shit, cool.
And I'd just be out there, and it's on 30 acres, and sometimes everybody's gone on the property, and I'm hearing stuff, and I'm like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Oh my God, get the guns."
She's got the knife. She's got the guns.
Well, guns are in Montana.
So you just hang out by yourself out in the middle of nowhere?
Well, yeah.
For long periods of time?
Well, okay, people think of Montana, you're out in the middle of nowhere. Like there's
But you just said you're in a dome.
Well, 30 acres, but then I can get to the 24-hour mart in 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then there's
some cool little towns.
There's a brewery.
In Montana.
Hey, I don't
it
know.
has grown a lot.
It's really cool. We did a road trip there last year. It was awesome.
It's grown
and
a lot.
skate parks everywhere.
The evergreen stuff.
Yep.
But they're so different now, the evergreen ones, because it's like,
it's all
whoa,
snake run.
It's like
snake
run,
all snake run and hooks,
trippy.
and then like the coping will just sort of
be
there, but not on the deck. Kind of in the wall.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain.
That Hamilton Park, the ginormous one, like past Stevensville, and oh man, that place is crazy. But yeah, there's those, and anyway, I'm trying to figure out where I want to be exactly because I want to have some ramps there, and so I'm trying to figure it out, or indoor structures. And then you can have a pool, and like one of my favorite pools is Jeff's, the Treasure Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Jeff Ament.
Yeah, so that pool's awesome.
From Pearl Jam. He's got his own. He's got his own pool.
And
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I had some Brian Fick took some good pictures of me there for I have a Vans ad in it and an interview for the interview issue a while back. But I just love that place. It just and Jeff's so cool, and just I skate with my friend Kim Peterson, who lives out there. We call her the Crusher. I was wondering, I remember you were somewhere and you were announcing or something, and I said, "Oh, just call her the Crusher."
That makes sense.
Yeah, she is, because she was skating with some guy and dropped in, and they were both skating, and then finally, bam, and she took him out, and he was like out, and he was like, oh, and then she got named the Crusher.
Nice. Crusher. So cool.
Yeah, so I'm like, if I drop in with, I'm like, I'm getting out.
If you're in with the Crusher, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, to get out.
That's so great.
Man, that is a gnarly. I did not know that happened. Was it Eric Nash's? They called him the Crusher.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
It's okay. We can have.
Everybody has their time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Eric. It's not
Anyway.
All right, well, Stevie, I want to make a peace offering of sorts and actually offer you money for the demo that you did for us in Missoula.
No.
Take it. Payback.
I owe you. I owe you for that one.
You all
It was a surprise to us.
I was there to have fun and skate with you guys.
Yeah, but if you got on camera, then you deserve to get paid. So I'm sticking with it. It's all right. Yeah. But hey, we appreciate you sharing your story.
Yeah.
You are such a pioneer.
Yeah, thanks for everything you've done for skateboarding.
So
great.
And I'm still trying to get back to skating and just to be out there skating.
Yeah. It shows your dedication, your perseverance, And it was an honor to be there with you in our youth, because it was really like, you know, I remember some names from back then, but not very many.
Yeah.
Right.
And Cara-Beth has always been there and always been a touchstone of advocacy. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. Well, thanks a lot, you guys.
Yeah, it's well deserved.
Stoked
Seriously.
to come out and hang out and talk to you guys.
Yeah, looking forward to skating with you
Cool.
as soon as you get better.
Definitely.
Me
I'm
too.
here.
Actually,
I'm here.
I got to get better too.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we'll give each other time.
I'll be
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
See you guys.
Like and subscribe.
Subscribe it.
Yeah.
See ya.